Hi, my name is Emre and this is my critical question number 1. How does my opening use or challenge conventions and represent social groups or issues? I have used 3 sets of conventions. Conventions of feature film openings, film conventions in general, and genre conventions, which my chosen genre is cyberpunk science fiction. Many films start with distributor and production idents, and I have done 2 idents similar to a mainstream film. I have made one of these idents in After Effects and the other one in Premiere Pro. With the first one, I followed the example of films like Blade Runner or The Matrix, that I use kind of digital effects on top of the idents to make it look more like science fiction. So with my titles, I have used a font which looks similar to other sci-fi, especially kind of retro older sci-fi. It reminds me of the font that's used in The Clockwork Orange, and I thought that would be a nice fit for this film. And for the order of the titles, I have used the conventional order of titles, which is actors, film title, other cast, film crew, and then the producer and director. I used a similar type of format for my titles to the Blade Runner film, which used white titles over black, with kind of a similar timing also to the film. The biggest difference I have to Blade Runner is that I used intertitles instead of having all the titles back to back, which I used to break up my shots in the montage sequence to suggest more of a passage of time. I have also not used a title crawl, which many science fiction openings do to introduce narrative context. I didn't find this necessary. I felt like I could include the necessary narrative context in my shots. In the beginning, I have white shots of the city to kind of establish the location and the setting, which is not space, which would be the most common for a sci-fi setting, which I didn't want that because that's way too common. I preferred urban setting, which is how I arrived at making a cyberpunk opening, which for cyberpunk that's a more common thing. I upgraded my white shots to make them look kind of a bit more alien, more futuristic, and therefore hopefully more sci-fi. At the start of my montage sequence, we see a character, and we don't see his face, we see what he's doing. We don't really have a clear idea of that either. I kind of intentionally hid his actions to create more of a mystery. But we can see that he's kind of working in a dark kind of underground laboratory kind of place. And what I tried to do is that I tried to kind of show that he's not working in a clean environment. He's able to smoke a cigarette while working on a surgical operation. The fact that he's in this underground laboratory, we can hear kind of noises, and yeah, apart from the Foley effects, there are kind of noises echoing in the background, industrial noises and machinery, showing that maybe like he's not working there alone, or at least there are things happening in the background, which also helps create the kind of atmosphere of this shady kind of underground facility. One of the props I have is a operating table, and it's lit up from under with kind of warm orange lights, which should make the skeleton feel more alive. And at the end of the montage, on the near the shot of the close-up shot of the skeleton's face, we kind of start hearing its breathing, which should suggest that the skeleton's kind of springing to life. And looking at its face, it's kind of like, you know, a skeleton face with glowing red eyes, which kind of universally is, I mean, looks ominous, and I wanted it to look evil, or at least threatening. Common thing in sci-fi, which is the Frankenstein thing, is that you might not be able to control your creations in terms of like what to create out of technology, and that's what I went for with the skeleton. And the loose handheld camera at the end is kind of meant to work with that, to show like the uncontrollability of that particular skeleton, the cyborg method.